A big hello and good evening from a sunny Manchester and welcome to another live version of MMTV, proper Mancunian rock and roll television at its finest, live from Marley Mancunia Studios in Manchester. If you are watching at home, this is what it's all about. It is proper, it's Manchester, it's rock and roll television. Please share it on all your social media sites. Let's get everyone watching. For the next hour or so, we have got some proper top quality entertainment lined up for you. Live music coming up later on from Velvet Shakes, Escafeld and the Backhanders. We've got some great guests in the studio tonight as well. Boxer Macauley McGowan and award-winning PT instructor Matt Nuttall. We're going to be having a chat to them, finding out what's going on in the world of their Mancunian lives. We're also, as a little bit of a treat, going to be talking to Ant and Neck, the two people who are behind MMTV, and see what the future plans are for this amazing online rock and roll television station. One thing we want to tell you, as we always do, if you are watching at home and there's kids knocking about, it is live, it's television from Manchester, so there might be a little bit of effing and jeffing, so we have just warned you of that as well. First of all, though, I'm going to shut up. Let's crack on with the entertainment. To open up tonight's MMTV, live from Marley Mancunia Studios in Manchester, this is the Four Crooks.
How's it going? You're right.
Can't you see, you're really getting a hold on me, and I don't mind at all. I don't feel hunger, I don't feel pain, when you're running through my veins, and I don't mind at all. What you do is black magic, black magic, black magic. Don't you know it's black magic, black magic, black magic. Don't you know it's black magic, black magic, black magic. What you do is black magic, black magic, black magic. Losing track of time and space. Now you got me locked in this place, and I don't mind at all. I don't feel hunger, don't feel your pain. Now you're running through my veins, and I don't mind at all. Don't you know it's black magic, black magic, black magic. What you do is black magic, black magic, black magic. Don't you know it's black magic, black magic, black magic. What you do is black magic, black magic, black magic. Don't you know it's black magic, black magic, black magic. What you do is black magic, black magic, black magic. Don't you know it's black magic, black magic, black magic. What you do is black magic, black magic, black magic. Thank you. Thanks very much. little song called Roll It Out. Thank you. Everywhere I go, everything I do, I've got this cloud and it's long overdue. Everyone I meet, they say to me, why don't you smile? You're a danger to me. 'Cause I'm rolling out of bed. Don't tell me sunshine will be in my head. 'Cause all I can say right now, before I'm ready, it'll be a while. Everywhere I go, everything I do, I've got this smile and it's calling for you. Everyone I meet, they say to me, why don't you smile? You're a danger to me. 'Cause I'm rolling out of bed. Don't tell me sunshine will be in my head. 'Cause all I can say right now, before I'm ready, it'll be a while. Cause I'm rolling out of bed. But don't tell me sunshine will be in my head. Cause all I can say right now, before I'm ready, it'll be a while. Oh. 'Cause I'm rolling out of bed. Don't tell me sunshine will be in my head. 'Cause all I can say right now, before I'm ready, it'll be a while. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Thank you.
MMTV live from Macauley McGowan in studio. The amazing Four Crooks. A massive thank you to them boys for opening up another great show. We've got loads and loads coming up, loads more live music for you a little bit later on. But it is Sammy introduced to the MMTV stage, our first guest for the night. We always often do have a motivational speaker on. Tonight is an award-winning PT instructor, but he's a man whose life started very differently indeed. Studio audience, will you please welcome to the stage the one and only Mr. Matt Nuttall. Sit down, man. How's it going? All right?
I'm all right, yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Listen, cheers for taking the time out to join us tonight on MMTV. Let's start off by asking you about your early child life. Where were you born and brought up?
I was born in Wardle Village. It's in Rochdale. It's a little tiny village which is just full of sheep and nothing to do.
Big reservoir there as well, isn't there?
There is a big reservoir. I used to go swimming in it every
Did
year.
you? You're not meant to do that, though. We're not encouraging that, are we? You know
No,
what I mean?
don't do that, no.
So you were born in Wardle. Tell us about your child life growing up. You know, what kind of stuff were you into? And
I was into, from an early age, like my mum and dad, they split up when I was about 11 and it had a bit of an impact on me going forward. I went to school and everything, and I was into boxing, I was into martial arts and stuff like that, but I took a different turn. What happened is I found it sounds weird this, but I found a tent in a field pitched up, and this is how it all started. I de-pegged the tent. I spent about 10 minutes folding it back up and putting it into its bag, and then I took it for a walk. And I sold it to 2 kids. They were in the year below me at school. And
Was this happening in Wardle?
this was happening in all goes on in Wardle. So I sold this tent for them for £3, and they said on the proviso that you come with us. So they pitched the tent up, and I got in the tent, and it was a hot box apparently. So they rolled a joint. That was the first time I'd ever seen a joint. I think I was about 13 at the time, and the rest is a blur after that. I remember walking home laughing my bollocks off, and I thought that's the funniest thing I've ever done in my life, you know. Let's do it again tomorrow. Let's do it again the day after. It got to the point where it was like 6:30 in the morning. I was going to work. I'd finish my paper round. I'd smoke a joint. I'd get on the bus. I'd go to work. And I did that until I was about 18. I was a bit of a fuck up, to be honest. Like, a lot of a fuck up, you know.
So the old weed thing became a way of life. Do you know, like the people you were knocking about with at the time?
Yeah.
You know, your mates from being 13 to 18, were they into that as well? Or was it very much something you were doing on your own?
There was a mad divide, like there was the potheads, and then there was the pissheads, like, you know. And I was kind of in the middle of both of them. Do you know what I mean? I was like, am I a pothead or am I a pisshead? I'm one of the two. I'm not sure. But for a good few years, I was a bad pothead.
Outside of doing the weed, did you continue doing the sport, and you know what else was going on in your life?
All that kind of got put to the side. I might have gone boxing every now and again, you know, but it got sidetracked. I kind of did nothing. I kind of fuck all for years, you know what I mean?
So you had this childhood life in Wardle where weed quickly, by a mad occurrence of meeting some lads, became a big part of it. You continued doing that till you were about 18. What was the point in your life when you decided, right, this needs to stop now, I need to get a grip?
There was probably, there was 2 things. There was a natural progression. I started getting into the gym a little bit and really enjoying it. That's why I believe in it so much now. But also I had a fit, like a really bad fit. I remember going to the bathroom at this guy's house. I'd only smoked a little bit of a joint. And I went to the bathroom, and next thing I was just smashing my head against the side of the door frame. So the guy come out, he goes, do you want the light switching on? I went, yeah. And the next thing I woke up under the bathroom sink, and I was smashing my head off the bathroom sink, and there was blood everywhere. I thought, this is not good. Do you know what I mean?
Coming off the weed, was it an easy thing to do, or was it a case of, fucking hell, I've done this for 6 years, it's an addiction?
No, it was weird. It was like, I remember my last smoke of a joint. I was 18, and I remember being round at my mate's house, and I said, that is it. That's the last one. And what it was, I started going to the gym a little bit, but we never got any gym work done because we'd get in the car, my mate's Metro GTA, and then we'd skin a joint up, and then just set off to the gym. But by the time we got to the gym, we were like, should we just skip the workout and go in the sauna and the jacuzzi and all that? But weirdly enough, this guy I'm talking about, he just texted me tonight, and I hadn't heard from him for months. It's weird life, isn't it? So this guy's massive in the changing rooms, and I'm a bit of a cheeky bastard, so I've gone up to him and said, how come you're so fucking big? Do you know what I mean? And he said, oh, do weights and all that. I used to get bullied as a kid, blah, blah, blah. So he teach me how to do weights and that. So the next time I went to the gym, he was in there again, and all the lads were like, yeah, I get a bit of that. I said, now I'm going to go and see that guy and see, you know, about lifting weights and that. And we're still good friends now. He's probably 22 years on or something, you know. So
very much meeting this fellow with the weights, your life could have took a very, very different path if you'd not met him.
Yeah, you know, because I'd been in a bit of trouble here and there. Do you know what I mean? When I say there was nothing to do where I live, I mean, like, our national sport in the village was cow tipping. Do you know what I mean? People pushing cows over and just riding old mopeds about with fucking no exhaust on and shit like that. It was a proper boring place to live, but you make your own fun, you know what I mean?
So we've gone through your life. You had a bit of a mad upbringing. You know, I'd say upbringing. Your parents split up. You went on the weed. You met this fella. You went to the gym. You got into it. So obviously, you know, looking at you now, you turn your life around in that way. But then you decided to start helping other people. What made you decide to do that?
I tell you what it was. It was any job that I'd ever had that stopped me getting to the gym pissed me off. Do you know what I mean? So I sold cars for a little bit. I worked in construction. I didn't mind that actually because you were lifting stuff all day. And I had loads of energy as a kid, and I needed somewhere to put it, and that was where I put it. You know, I just loved the gym, and I thought if I can't get to the gym, then I'm annoyed. You know, and I started being nasty and that. And I might have turned back to the weed again if I couldn't have got to the gym. So I thought, you know, if I just do this for a living, then I'll be happy, surely.
So the gym's obviously been a big part of your life. Since then, you've become a boxing coach. You've got a black belt in kickboxing. You know, you're a PT instructor, which we'll talk more about at the moment. You yourself must be able to... You must have seen some great stories of people who, like yourself, because of what you've shown them at the gym, it's turned their life around as well. I
mean, it's a cliche, isn't it? Like nearly every boxer I've spoken to over the years has had a similar story. You know what I mean? I think it's just kids with loads of energy. Like back in the day, I don't think anyone could have been branded with ADHD or something like that. You know what I mean? But it was probably a thing. But you were just called a naughty little bastard, or that's what it was back then. But nowadays, you can say that I probably had ADHD as a kid.
So you've done this, obviously, you've helped loads of kids, you know, you've got loads of people physically fit and stuff like that. You were the finalist in the annual PT Awards. How did that come about?
Someone nominated me, and to this moment, I still don't know who, but I'm glad they did. Yeah. You know, just before that as well, it's almost like everything's coming to a point. I'm 40 this year, right? And all these things I've been pushing to move to America. I've got a job offer in America at a boxing gym over there, and for the past 3 years I've been actually grafting my ass off, getting media attention from my work as doing stuff like this, you know what I mean, to try and get that visa, and it's been took off me twice now. So weirdly, all that has led on to stuff like this and the award, and I got PT of the month in a magazine online and stuff, you know. So it's all going great. Well, we really appreciate you coming on here, telling your story and stuff like that. If anyone's watching this at home or in the studio audience, you know, and they're thinking, he's turned his life around with the gym and stuff like that, what advice would you give him? Just start. That's all I'd say from the beginning. If you're thinking about it, just start it, and then it'll roll on itself. You know, if it's meant to be, it'll roll out and play out itself. You know, and then you'll be on your own little journey. Just listening to you and your life journey of how you started and you've got involved and you now help people, and it's a big statement this, but change people's lives in what you do. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. The future plans for you are hopefully you're going to get over to America. You're not going to leave Manchester and Rochdale for good though, are you? I'm probably going to be here for good. No. Yeah. I don't want to say good or bad to that. Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of, you know, it's not looking good anyway. Let's put it that way. If people want to find more information out about you, Matt Nuttall, what you do, and all that kind of stuff, where do they go? Where do they find information about you out? Well, just Google it. Just Google, like, you know, 3 years ago I couldn't have said that, but if you Google my name now, I'll come up. That's a cool thing, isn't it? You know, after putting all that work into it, you know. Yeah. Well, listen, Matt, we really, really appreciate you joining us, telling your story on MMTV. All the best for the future. Keep in touch with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Nuttall. One of the things we do quite regular on MMTV is we do have these inspirational people on. Matt is one of them men. Not only has he turned his life around, but he's turned a hell of a lot of people's around as well. So we really appreciate him coming telling his story. And like he said, Matt Nuttall, make sure you follow him on social media and see what he gets up to. Okay, it is time for some more live music. The next band are one of my favourite bands at the moment. I came across them a few months ago at the You Are Not Alone festival. They were playing at the Whiskey Jar, and they absolutely blew me away. So it is an absolute pleasure that we've got them here tonight. MMTV live from Macauley McGowan Studios in Manchester. You are going to love these. This is Velvet Shakes.
all we need. I can see it blooming, no one's losing. We got love, it's all we need. I can see it blooming, no one's losing. Yeah, you know I'm gonna give it, no, I'm gonna give it to you. The love I feel, the love, the light shimmers gold. Take my hand, summer wonderland. We got a long way to go, but we won't stop moving. No one's losing. We got love, it's all we need. I can see it blooming. No one's losing. We got love, it's all we need. I can see it blooming. No one's losing. No, I'm gonna give it. No, I'm gonna give it to you. Love I feel, love I feel. Yeah, you know I'm gonna give it. No, I'm gonna give it to you. Love I feel,
Thank you very much. As you heard from Dave, we're called Velvet Shakes. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
How's it going?
That track was called Love I Feel. This next one's called And I Like It. And I hope you like it too. Come on in! Transmission, and I'm feeling overdrive. You're the objective of my mission, and I feel like I'm alive. 'Cause I've been wandering around in the winter snow. I've been feeling alright in the rain. I'm still smiling even when the wind blows. It's a feeling I can't explain, but I like it all my life. Here we go. But I like it all my life. Here we go. Cause I've been wandering around in the winter snow. I've been feeling alright in the rain. I'm still smiling even when the wind blows. It's a feeling I can't explain, but I like it all my life. Here we it, like it. Life and I like it. Oh, my life, here we go. Life and I like it. Oh, my life, here we go. Life and I like it. Oh, my life, here we go. Life and I like it. Oh, my life, here we go.
And you can see why they are one of Manchester's favourite bands at the moment. MMTV, let's hear it. Velvet Shakes. Nice one, lads. And if you did enjoy that, the band are playing at Night People in Manchester on Thursday, July the 11th. So if you're out and about and in this part of the world, make sure you're there, yeah? The 11th of July, Night People in Manchester. Studio audience, will you please once again make some noise for the brilliant Velvet Shakes. Okay, if you are at home, you are watching MMTV live from Macauley McGowan Studios in Manchester. Don't forget to share this. Let's get everyone watching it. It's rock and roll television from Manchester. Still to come, we have got music from Escafeld. They're going to get on the stage and get ready in a minute. And the amazing Backhanders are on the way a little bit later on. Still to come, loads and loads of stuff to tell you about. Back in November last year, two notorious characters from Manchester decided to launch a TV station. One of them was called Carl Power, the other one was called Anton Pell, and there's a little bit of a treat for you now. We're going to invite the lads up to tell us all about MMTV and what is going on. Please welcome the two men behind MMTV, Fat Neck and Anton. Here they go. Look at that. How are you, boys? I'll tell you what, you sit up there. Let me get down here. Look at that. Take a pew, man. Just grab that mic there, Anton. Okay, so if you are watching at home, right, these two boys are the men who came up with the idea of this conception of MMTV back in November. Anton, right, you two lads, well known in Manchester for your work over the years. What made you come up with the idea of MMTV?
Do you know what? It was a band that were playing here. We manage them, don't we? In fact, like Backhanders. So they always rehearsing here. So I made a little thing to put my phone on so I could record them. I thought, right, we've got the infrastructure. We could turn this into something. So we didn't know F all about like, running a TV show, being director, so to speak, or whatever. So then we thought, right, we've got the format, we've got the infrastructure, we've got the building. Let's now we need the host. And that's when you came along.
Cheap. I remember being at Bowlers in Manchester at one of the Manchester events, and I was there hosting that, and I remember you coming up. You'd had a few beers, both. You went, Dave, we've had this top idea. Be at Marley Studios on whatever date it was, and we turned up and this amazing thing was going on. So, Nick, if we could just talk to you for a minute. Since November, we've had some pretty amazing guests on. Let's talk about the world of music first. We've had Sean Ryder, Bez, Clint Boone, Tom Ingley. We've had some amazing people.
Do you know what? The way it was, we just started with bands like we did, and then automatically with knowing loads of boxers, I thought we'll have a boxer on it, and also someone speaking about mental health or a motivational speaker. And I thought with the three of them combined in each show, we've just had it, keeping it up like that.
We've had some amazing guests on, including one boxer who's now on Love Island. But for anyone watching this at home, you won't be watching that shit. You'll be watching this.
He'll be back.
He watches it. Hang on a minute.
say
It's all
something
coming
about
out now,
Tommy.
isn't it?
Tommy Fury. If we say something about Tommy, he'll go viral, won't he? So I'll tell you a little story about Tommy Fury.
We did have Tommy Fury on it, and it was
Right,
only...
we always wanted, we aim high, don't you? You shoot for the moon, you end up amongst the stars. So that's what we do here. Yeah, don't ask, you don't get. So
And in fairness, it was only a few weeks before it got announced he was on
So
Love
we
Island.
were aiming for Tyson, but he kept saying, nah. So we thought, right, we've got to go for his brothers and stuff like that. We get his brothers on, then they'll say, right, it's a cool show, we'll have to come on it. So
he didn't mention it when he was here, though, did he? He didn't mention the old Love Island thing when he was here.
No, he didn't, because he didn't know. So when we asked him, do you want to come on the show? His response was, is there going to be any funny there? That's horrible. But we said yes. And he came on the show, and all was here was sweaty rock and roll stars.
So from MMTV to Love Island, it just shows, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
So now I hope that goes viral, because that's what we need, isn't it?
So-
Hashtag Love Island and MMTV, everyone, and we'll do that.
Moving swiftly forward, obviously we've been doing it before we know it, we're going to have been doing it for a year now. It's been an amazing 8 months. We've had some really amazing live bands, sports people, inspirational speakers on. What are the plans for the future for MMTV?
Well, we've just got some really cool companies on board that are interested in sponsoring us. So that was always the aim. The aim, like, people ask me all the time, why do you have mixed rock and roll with sport? Why do you mix boxers with music? And I'm like, because it's exactly the same. It's just a different art form. You have a headliner, you have a promoter, you have a main support. We're all in the same game. We're all from the streets around here, do you know what I mean? But I love getting the boxers on because they're kids like us from around here. And they inspire people. They've walked out national stadiums. They walk out stadiums fighting for world titles. But they're from Beswick and Coats, do you know what I mean? That's why we like getting them on this show.
And not only that, wherever people are watching from in the world, Manchester, it is all about music and sport, isn't it?
Yeah, music and sport. And boxing's a hotbed. We don't get the credit in Manchester for boxing in Manchester. How many world champions have we got in Manchester? You can't count them. Look around. Look at all them. They're all world champions that come on the show. Do you know, we don't get the credit.
So moving forward, where does MMTV go? What are the plans?
Just bigger, better sponsors. If you're there, sponsor us.
I just want to butt in there. If anyone is watching, by the way, and you love what we do, it's rock and roll television from Manchester. And if you do want to get involved and sponsor what we do, all you need to do is get in touch via social media to either Carl or Anton and get sponsoring this amazing station, because we have had some proper top guests on.
Can I just say we've got a guy from Manchester Council in tonight, and the Backhanders are playing in Deansgate for the Armed Forces on this Saturday. Am I right? Thank you very much for having them.
We have got the Backhanders coming up a little bit later
For
on.
all the armed forces that are also a big...
Can I just say we also have a license?
There's a bar just through there as well.
And we need another mic, anyone?
Charity event.
Do you know what? I'm going to put you both on the spot now, and you're going to kill me for asking this. Since November, we've been doing this MMTV. If I had to ask you, who's been your favourite guest to both of you?
Mine, to be honest, I liked Anthony Croller. I thought he was cool. He just spoke it like it was. He was ace. Sean Ryder, obviously. Bez. But yeah, we just had so many. Debbie Ellis, I really liked her. I liked her story about how Oasis came together.
Cy Wollstonecraft, I mean, one of the
Cy
most
as well. We had his
unsung
life as
musical
well,
heroes from Manchester. Terry
But
Flanagan.
we've had, like, when we did the count-up and we were doing the stats, since November, we've relentlessly done it every 2 weeks. We've played... we've had over 70 unique, different bands from Manchester play since November on this show. So that shows the strength of it. That's why we do it.
That's exactly...
To give them that exposure. And the boxers. We all need to sell tickets, and that's what it's all about.
And not only that, on MMTV, we get these worldwide stars on, you know, like you say, Anthony Croller, Sean Ryder. And they love this because it's proper, innit? It's real television.
Yeah.
Rock and roll, tell you at
Yeah,
its finest.
I want to show you, tell you about a band from Sheffield. See these guys setting up now, but they're taking ages. But,
Yeah, come on, lads, get a move on.
but these guys are proper rock and roll stars. They did one gig when they were in an old band. They did one gig, they sold out the Lead Mill, and then like two rock and roll stars fucked it right up. Fell out with the drummer and everything. But I love that. They're cool. Going to be a proper cool band. And Jordan, he's lead singer and a good pal of mine. Can we have a chat with Jordan?
Of course we can, Jordan. Come over here. Listen, before I tell you what, let's get Jordan up here. Can we have a big round of applause for the two men who invented MMTV? Carl Power, a.k.a. Fatneck, and Anton Pell. How's it going, Jordan? You all right, mate?
Dave.
Now, it's the first time I've met you. You boys have come over from Sheffield to be on MMTV tonight. Tell us a little bit about the band's history.
We've formed from ashes of 3 different bands, basically. So Anton mentioned, and we were in a band before, sold out Lead Mill. Them two lads, bass player and guitarist for another band. Brandon's joined us. He's Babby, he's only 18. And then Joel's joining from another band as well, Corrado Ross.
I'll tell you what, though, selling out the Lead Mill, that's some pretty prestigious gig, that, innit?
I don't know how we did it, but...
lot of mates. No, it's the first time I've seen you. I'm really looking forward to seeing you play. What's the plans for the future for the band? For the people watching at home or in the studio, what are the future plans for the band?
Get out of Sheffield, to be honest. We've got a gig in Manchester on Saturday at Eagle Bar. And then we're headlining O2 Academy in Sheffield in November. That's it then. Get out.
Brilliant. And if people are watching at home and they proper dig what you're going to do in a minute, I take it you're on social media and all that.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and all that. Hit us up.
Well, listen, I think the lads are around about where this, so if we can have some
Dave.
live music off you. Cheers, Jordan. Top man, top band. MMTV, this is live rock and roll television. You are watching it. We're live in Manchester. On a sunny Thursday night, we've got loads and loads to come up over the next half an hour. But now it is time for some live music all the way from Sheffield. It is a great pleasure to welcome to MMTV, Escafeld.
You spend half your time trying your eyes on a bed of pursuit. Small little lies, you've got nowhere to go to. You got no one to run to. You're ready to mess, you assume your past. Never done from the length of your history addressed. Nobody wants you, and nobody needs you. She's had one too many times. One too many for you tonight. She's had one too many times. One too many for you tonight. The witches are waiting, so is your grave. He's trying to tell me that you want me. Oh, please behave. The witches are waiting, so is your grave. He's trying to tell me that you want me. Oh, please, yeah. Will be true some life, but she won't deny. Making us be lady of the night. She's got no one to lean on, and a hope to hold God. Already's a mess, so she goes through the test. Nothing left to reveal but a whole little trap. Nobody wants you, and nobody needs you. She's had one too many times. One too many for you tonight. She's had one too many times. One too many for you tonight. The witches are waiting, so is your grave. You're trying to tell me that you want me. Oh, please behave. The bullshit's waiting, so is your brain. You're trying to tell me that you want me. Oh, please behave. Go on, Brandon. She's waiting, so is you good. You're trying to tell me that you want me. Oh, please behave. The she's waiting, so is you good. You're trying to tell me that you want me. Oh, please behave. Bye.
Nice one. This next thing, we're recording it next month. It's very Manchester. That's why we're playing it tonight. It's called Good to Be Me.
When it's hardest to let it be, we believe we be free. It doesn't mean that much to me that you stay through the day. I never want you to leave, won't you lay as we breathe? Spend the day doing as we breathe. We don't need anyone. We don't need anyone. Well, it's good to be me. Well, it's good to be me. Fly away in the sun, 'cause I know it's what you want, and I'll drive, grab you close, because tomorrow never knows. We don't need anyone. We don't need anyone. Well, it's good to be me. Well, it's good to be me. Well, you know that it's real how you feel about me. Said you know that it's real how you feel about me. Said you know that it's real how you feel about me. Well, you know that it's real how you feel about me. We don't need anyone. We don't need anyone. Well, it's good to be me. Well, it's good to be me. Yeah.
Nice one, Manchester.
MMTV live from Macauley McGowan Studios. They've travelled all the way from Sheffield to be with us tonight. Studio audience, will you make some noise for the brilliant Escafeld? Nice one, cheers lads, thank you. Okay, you are watching MMTV live from Macauley McGowan Studios in Manchester. Don't forget to share this, spread the word, let's get everyone watching. It is all about proper Manchester television. One thing since day one we've featured a lot on this show is the world of boxing, and as Anton mentioned earlier on, Manchester really does. It's a pretty big hotbed for boxing, and we like to feature it and hear about people's stories, people who are doing really, really well from the area. Our boxing guest tonight is a man who, since becoming pro, he's won 12, drawn 1, and lost none. It is a great, great pleasure to welcome from Wythenshawe our boxer for tonight, Macauley McGowan. How's it going, mate? All right. Good, good. You switched on. Yeah, let's have a look. There you go. That's my fault. Sorry, Mr. Soundman. Listen, cheers for taking the time out to join us on MMTV. Proper appreciate you coming down. So growing up in Wythenshawe, where did boxing come into it?
Well, it's pretty rough on there, so you just get involved, like, doing shit and whatever. And then the boxing gym was just round the corner. We had Tyson Fury was there. And he was doing well. He was only 14. We had this big lad was there. So my dad said, "Oh, I'll take you down," because my dad used to do a bit of boxing. So I went down, and then I just loved it from then on. But
how old were you at that point?
I was 8. I always thought I was 9, but looking back, I was actually 8.
What were you like growing up as a kid? What were you like?
I was always pretty intelligent, but I was a little shit with it, like, because school, some of the things were easy, so I just like think, oh, fuck that, like, not really arsed. But you know, there was a stage when I was 10 years old. I ended up wagging school. I didn't wag school. I was playing pitch and toss, and I lost. And the dinner lady said something to me about playing it, so I called her a fat bitch, and I ran off. And then that night,
did she catch you?
No, I went and hid near a brook. I just like waited there all day, and then I knew if I waited long enough, my mum would go past that feeling of angriness and become worried. So she'd become worried, so I thought, right, I'll head back now, because I was only round the corner. And then she said, right, you're not playing out, blah, blah, blah. So then later on that night, my mate knocked on for me, and she said, right, you can go out, but just stay on the front. We ended up smashing the car up that night. And then a few days later, loads of us doing it. And then a few days later, the police come and arrested us. And I got questioned, and, you know, they said, oh, you're going to get an ASBO if you carry on hanging around with such and such people and all that. And then the gym found out, because the Jimmy Egan's, they were just dead involved in, like, all the lads' lives. And then they said, look, what's going on there? And then from that moment, I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to dedicate myself to boxing. And I just kind of just stayed in the gym from then on.
As a kid, getting into what you were getting into and what you were like, what you've just told us about, you obviously got into boxing from 8 or 9. Yeah. Were you doing much like fighting and scrapping on the streets? Or were you not really a fighter? Even though you were, as you called it, a little shit, were you not really a fighter? Or?
I wouldn't say I was a fighter and I went looking for trouble, but I'd be around trouble. So I couldn't, if I knew someone was kicking off, someone would switch inside, and I thought, right, I'm just going to have it here now. And I remember once the principal pulled me in and he said, Macauley, this is your 5th fight today. I thought, well, fucking send me home then. Like, and then, so I did have a bit of a temper, but I weren't good at it. Like, I was crap at, like, all my mates were better runners, like, you know, in sprinting in school and all that. Just better at everything, but boxing was, I knew you could strategically beat someone regardless of physical attributes, because I was pretty chubby. So I just thought, I'm going to stick with this.
So you got into boxing, like you say, your dad took you to the gym and all that kind of stuff. When was your first fight? When do you remember having your first fight? I don't mean on the street, I mean actually in the ring.
It was 2 weeks after my 11th birthday. You have to be 11 to legally box in the UK, so straight away, 2 weeks in.
What do you remember about that fight?
Oh, I got hammered. I got absolutely hammered. It was an Asian lad, and I remember, as bad as it sounds, Asian lads were feared at the time, because it was 2004. So Amir Khan had got the silver medal, so it was just an influx of like the Asian boxing community. And I remember I was boxing with from Bury, Amir Khan's gym, and he just levied us. I remember I think it was Steve Foster the senior looking back. He gave me my trophy and he just went, stick at it, lad. And I thought, he knows I got hammered then. But I just thought, fuck it, I'll just stick at it.
Going into that ring for the first time at the age of 11, did you go in pretty much shitting it, or did you go in with I can do this?
No, the first time going into the ring, I weren't shitting it because I didn't know what to expect. It was in Lee, and some dance tune come on. I didn't listen to that sort of music. And I just thought, fucking hell, this is all right, this. So I come bowling out thinking this is going to be a breeze, this. I'm minting the gym, you know, a little cocky bastard. And then after the first round, I was just hanging on for dear life pretty much.
You obviously kept in, we go into the gym, go into the boxing, and as a kid, into your early teens, you obviously continued having fights. At what point in your life was it you thought, right, I want to do this, I want to make a career of it, I want to, you know, take this more seriously? When did you think, that's for me?
I tell myself like it was pretty much straight away, but it weren't, because I remember like being at home once, like I think I was about 12, and I'm thinking, I like boxing, but I don't think I'll do it forever. And then it is easy, like, I'm not going to say I was a bad kid and it was rough and this and all that rubbish about women's show, but it is easy to get involved in the wrong crowd. So, like, when you see, like, lads who are doing whatever, it's so easy for them to become your role models. You're seeing the lads doing, you know, illegal activity and stuff, and they're driving the better cars and stuff, so you don't respect a teacher who's driving a fucking little crappy car. Obviously I do now, but I mean, like, looking back then, it was all about, like, material things.
When you got into boxing, and obviously there's a lot of people look up to you now, when was it you thought to yourself, right, well, I need to sort myself out, I need to stop smashing cars up, and I need to, you know, take this seriously? What point in your life was that?
Well, like I say about role models and all that, Tyson Fury was in the gym, and I was about 12, I think he's a few years older. He seemed like a man, but he was only a kid himself. He was doing really, really well, winning everything, but getting a name for himself. I remember Jimmy Keller, he won the schoolboy title, and I knew I was going into the schoolboys like a year later, and I thought, and he won it, and he got this big glove, and he got his England vest and that, and I thought, right, no, that's what I want to do.
Would you say boxing changed your life at that part of you?
I'm not going to say, oh, I was a bad kid going down the wrong road, and I was this, that, and the other, but I do think when there was times in my life, because I was a smart kid, like, well, I think about it, I knew right from wrong anyway. I'm not saying I was this brainball, I'm just saying I knew right from wrong, so I think at some point I would have just fizzled out of it anyway, but boxing did help, yeah, definitely, and the coaches at the gym.
So you decided in 2014 to become pro. Yeah. So since then, 12 wins and 1 draw, which is a pretty amazing record, isn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah, since becoming pro. Even to a novice in the world of boxing, Frank Warren is one of the biggest promoters. How did he get involved with Frank Warren? Because obviously, at some point in your career, he came and started looking after you. How did that happen?
Well, it was when MTK, it was called MGM Marbella at the time. It was in its early stages. We went over, and Frank Warren was getting involved, and there was like this guy from Ireland and Matthew Macklin and stuff like that, and it was getting a bit of a reputation. So we went over, and Frank Warren was there, and he watched us spar and that, and it kind of just snowballed from there.
Do you know what? One thing I want to ask you is obviously like doing research before tonight and stuff. Yeah. Since you turned professional, you've won 12, drawn 1, and lost none. How do you prepare now? Is it a case of the fact that you're winning all these? Is it difficult to, you know, get in the mindset of I could lose, or do you pretty much go in thinking I can win this? How does it affect your training with you winning so often?
You just want to keep winning, and like, don't get me wrong, there's times where you do get complacent, and like, it's been 13 fights. It's been over like 5 years. Like, I haven't been that active, so each fight it has been a bit like. Your mindset does change over time, but like, I've had 2 years out now. Like, I haven't boxed in 2 years, so I've missed it bad, and now I really appreciate it. And you can get caught up in like the ticket sales and the fact that it's a business and who you're boxing. But at the end of the day, I just want to get in there and smash someone up. And that, since the age of 8, when I walked in the gym, it didn't matter if it was in a lifestyle centre or a big arena. That's what I wanted to do.
With you not losing since turning professional, I think what I was trying to ask was, is it easy to take your foot off the gas thinking, fucking hell, I'm winning anyway? Or does it give you more motivation to, you know, train harder?
Yeah, it gives you more motivation, definitely, but you can't let it consume you, the fact, oh, I haven't lost. You just got to, like, because then you go into the ring and you're a bit tense, and you just got to go and fucking have it, pretty much. Just, like, it is what it is.
You've had a couple of years off. In that couple of years, have you continued training and stuff, or have you had a year out where you have a few kebabs and that, or have you continued keeping fit?
Well, no, I was about 6-8 months ago, I was 15.5 stone, yeah. I boxed at 10.5 stone, so... it's been a journey. I've gone through a lot of things. I've had mental health issues and stuff, and you know, And I've come back from it all, and it all changed in September when I met my coach, Ben Lancaster.
Your next fight takes place 5th of July, which is frighteningly the week after next. It's at the Bolton Stadium, whatever it's called now, University of Bolton Stadium. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's been 2 years out, but I've been training. I probably feel the best I've ever felt.
That's good.
Yeah, even though it's been 2 years out, I do, mentally and physically. And like, people are like, it's been 2 years out, how are you going to approach it? At the end of the day, it's just a fucking fight. Like, as much as it's my dream and you can get caught up watching motivational videos like, oh, this is my passion, this is what I want to do, take it away. It's just a fight. As long as my family's okay, it's just boxing.
That's a great way of looking at it, isn't it? You know what I mean? How much do you know about your opponent for next week?
Well, it's changed a few times, and I thought I was boxing an Irish man, but at the moment, it stands I'm boxing a Scottish guy. He's won 6, lost 3, drawn 1. So it's quite a difficult fight for his first one back, but it is what it is.
He's going to go into that fight knowing your record as well, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which, you know. Well, listen, obviously, not just everyone in this room now, but everyone watching at home wishes you all the very best for the future. We really appreciate you coming on MMTV, telling us about your story. Good luck. Let's hear it, Macauley McGowan. And like I just said, I'm sure you'll all absolutely agree with me in rooting for Macauley next week when he has that fight, the 5th of July at the Bolton University of Bolton Stadium. MMTV Live, it is time for our final band. Thank you so much for watching this. Don't forget, we have been doing this since November. If you've missed any episodes, they are all available on YouTube. For tonight, though, a band that needs no introduction in Manchester. To close the show, this is the amazing, legendary Mancunian Backhanders.
Cheers, Dave. It's not often people say that about us.
It's all right, yeah?
This tune's called Sheep, and this is about Miles Platting, the mill, the park, sunflowers, beer cans, a lot.
Sticks for my eyelids, even though I could not sleep. And I took half a dozen sleeping pills in a resort to counting sheep. In a resort to counting sheep. And all that talk about the car and all the butchies that lopsided. Yeah, that's enough of that. And we got kids playing by the library, and yet holding on to drink. Daddy left when they were babies. That's what I think. 'Cause it's an old town full of old hills, empty parks, and broken swingers, sunflowers and beer cans, dodgy diamond ring. Time my washing line to my shed door. There ain't a flower in my backyard. There's just a bin shed and a deck chair, a few faggots and old crisp bags. Oh, we ain't ashamed of where we come from. We ain't got no reason to be, 'cause we ain't got a lot to give you. But what we've got, take it for free. 'Cause it's an old town boy. Cheers. This next song's called Rags to Riches. Still not rich though. Oh, here we go. Still in rags. Shakespeare in the lobby, I'm fighting next at the bar, singing songs about the mountains, I'm telling tales from my backyard. We got lost in this moment, we're talking shit amongst ourselves. How we come from rags to riches, and I left you there sat on the shelf. Get lost and count your dollars, pounds and pence, cause you can come from rags to riches, still end up sat on the fence. Get lost and count your dollars, pounds and pence, cause you could come from rags to riches, still end up sat on the fence. Still end up sat on the... Now I've just met a woman, she's got a Mona Lisa smile and an old-based exterior, his smoky eyelids and lips of stone. For me, I couldn't handle it, couldn't get a grip. She was just a prostitute trying to pay her rent. For me, I couldn't handle it, couldn't get a grip. She was just a prostitute trying to pay her rent. Get lost and count your dollars, pounds and pence, cause you can come from rags to riches, still end up sat on the fence. Get lost and count your dollars, pounds and pence, cause you can come from rags to riches, still end up sat on the fence. Still end up sat on the... Now Jack Kerouac tried explaining, he was on the road for 7 years, about to beat up dead America along Route 66. He met a bunch of beaneck hobos and he listened to the jam, but he drank a wine. But in the end it took him 2 weeks to write a book about his time. Get lost and count your dollars, pounds and pence, you could come from rags to riches, still end up sat on the fence. Get lost and count your dollars, pounds and pence, you could come from rags to riches, still end up sat on the fence. Still end up sat on the...
count your dollars, pounds and pence. You can come from rags to riches, still end up sat on the fence. We get lost and count your dollars, pounds and pence. You can come from rags to riches, still end up sat on the fence. Still end up sat on the.
Cheers. Thank you.
MMTV, it is so good to have them on the channel and looking and sounding better than ever. Will you please make some noise for the amazing Backhanders? Cheers, lads. Now, before we go any further, hang on, the gaffer's here. Saturday Armed Forces Day in Manchester. The Backhanders are going to be playing live, yeah? So make sure you get down and check them out. Armed Forces Day in Manchester. Okay, before we go anywhere, can we just ask all the studio audience to say where you are? We'll tell you why in a bit. So if you're sat at home wondering what's going on, that's why you need to get down here on our live shows. You have been watching MMTV live from Macauley McGowan's studio in Manchester. Thank you for tuning in. Share it, spread the word. It's rock and roll television from Manchester. A massive thank you to our guests tonight who have been Macauley McGowan and Matt Nuttall. Good luck to you, lads, for everything you're doing in the future. And good luck at Bolton next week, yeah? We'll all be thinking here. Thank you to all of our live music guests tonight. 4 Crooks, Velvet Straits, Escafeld and the Backhanders. Let's hear it for them. A massive thank you to Kieran, who sorted out all the cameras and all the sound for tonight as well. And to our production team of Fatneck, Anson and George Dina. Don't forget all the previous episodes of MMTV you can watch on the YouTube channel. If you want to know when the next episode is and who's on, all you need to do is follow MMTV Manchester on social media. I've been Dave Sweetmore. You've been watching MMTV. See you next time. Good night. Right, listen, we are off air now. We've been asked if everyone in the